Hey, folks, welcome here to another brief installment of Disgruntled. We thought that today we would just put out a real short video for you guys. I think it's fair since we're new to the scene. Disgruntled is new. Three Clicks Media as a whole is new, but it's a group effort, right? It's not just Jason and I, it's not just me, not just Jason. There's other members of the group. So we thought that it would be a great idea for all of you to be able to meet everybody. So we're going to do them one at a time. There's a couple other guys involved. There is Ty and another fella named Trevor, who are also part of the crew. We have Ty for you today. Trevor couldn't be here. He had to get his beard in order. I don't know, something's going on with his beard. He's very proud of his beard. But we will get him here. So without further ado, let's bring you Jason and our good friend Ty Bowie. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hello, friends.
Hello, Ty.
That is a T-shirt. That's
Hello,
happening.
friends.
Hello, friends.
Not today, Satan.
Yes. That's going to be a guarantee.
Okay, Ty, I want you to start us off, brother. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, like your military service. How old are you? There's no chance you're older than Jason, but
Oh, but I am.
you are?
I'm 48.
Oh, dude, he's a senior.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
48.
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Marine Corps way back in 1996.
You look good.
Asians, we age well.
right
true.
on. All right. So you joined the Marine Corps in 1996. Was this your first experience in the military?
Yeah. First experience, I got out in 2000 and, just before all this stuff went down. And then I joined the Guard years later because our friend Jason was going on a second deployment. So I was bored, so I went with.
He didn't have a lot going on.
Okay, now hold on. Now here's something I didn't know about you, Ty. You got out of how long were you out of the Marines?
Off of active duty, I got out in 2000. Inactive reserve was another 4 years. So
Yeah, but we don't count that, right?
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
2000.
So you got out in 2000 and got back into the Army National Guard when?
2006, 2007?
7.
Yeah.
Wow. And then went on deployment with Jason.
Yeah. I joined the Guard with the only intention was going on that deployment.
It was just to mow.
Yeah.
There was no other reason.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, right on. Well, thank you for your service. Just to bring some clarity, Jason and I had never met a day in our lives until about, was it maybe 2 years ago now?
About that, yeah.
But Ty and I were in the same unit way back then. It had to have been when you were on your way out, right?
Yeah, because I came back and I hooked up with that. I was actually detached to that unit before, and then I was taken out to go on deployment, and then I came back to the unit.
Okay. So Ty and I have a little bit of a history together, and we had no idea. I had no idea that Jason knew him and he knew Jason. Just happened to be that I showed up one day and here's Ty, long lost Ty Bowie. I hadn't seen him in years. It was great. It was like finding an old stuffed animal in a garbage bag somewhere. It was amazing, and I'm glad. I'm very glad. And now here we are. We're trying to all work together to better the lives of veterans in our communities and then beyond once we get there. What was that deployment like for you, Ty? I mean, you were with Jason, but
We were in the same company, not the same platoon.
uh-huh.
Well, I tell you what, man, it was trying. Not
Yeah.
around fire and anger, but a lot of people come back messed up in that unit.
And he was pulsed into those areas. Yeah. His platoon in particular always seemed to be problematic. We can say that. I mean, we all know if you were in every unit's problematic, but
Yeah.
this one had more diversity in insanity than any unit I had ever been a part of. And I knew, if we want to rewind, the exact way this went down was I showed up. I saw a couple of my old buddies. I knew that there was a chance I'd get attached to this unit again, and I was talking to them. They just looked at me like they're giving me the porpoise again. It's like like this unit is rough. And I started looking around. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a rough run. And so I said, well, it was the worst thing we had, and it was armor. And so I called up Ty, and I was like, hey, what are you doing this summer? And he's like, what you got? I mean, number one, you want to talk about friendship? I mean, this is a big one. I mean, for a guy to be out for the better part of it, almost a decade, to walk back in. And this was tight timing. We are not talking about something where there was a year before movement. We were talking about a matter of months, maybe 2.5 months. And so this thing needed to go very succinctly. And he needed to get out to Washington to get the trainer done and be able to come back, get meshed with the unit, and then go. And I was this is just how it started. I met him at the Northeast Minneapolis Armory to go meet with a recruiter. What were the first questions that they asked you?
Oh, my parents are going to hate me. They asked what my parents' names were.
Why does that matter?
You're going to find out in a minute.
Okay.
And so now, bear in mind, I'm standing outside of there. It's not like I want to be in the office when they're going through their thing, because that's not my game. But of course, I know what's coming. And so I hear that, and I just kind of chuckle and turn against the wall, and then I hear him loudly proclaim,
My parents' names are Bitch and Twat. My mom's name is spelled B-I-C-H, and my dad's name is spelled T-U-A-T.
Okay.
So Ty's first interaction with anybody inside of this new system was like that moment. And that was, you could take that moment and just multiply that over the time that Ty spent in the Guard, because it was always hilarious. It was always something you couldn't believe what was happening next. You couldn't believe what was happening currently, but you're like,
Yeah.
oh, people are talking about get the popcorn. It's like, no, you need to get some trazodone or something to knock you down a little
need
bit,
something
because
stronger
we
than
don't know
popcorn.
what's coming next, right? And so that was like the first kick. And then of course the couple of people that I had talked to about making sure that something like this could happen, they call and they're like, who the is this guy? Like, what was? Because of course the recruiters. I mean, this is pretty amazing, right? This is the Minnesota National Guard. Recruiting, I think they have pretty typical recruiting standards. I don't think they get a lot of outliers, but they certainly don't get a salty old Marine that just walks right in. He wasn't not that old at the time. I mean, always older than me, because now I finally have somebody older than me, Richie, so I'm going to constantly say that.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
but this very unique experience off the bat. Like, I literally was in tears out in that lobby listening to the interaction of Ty and his recruiter, because you couldn't write it. If you were to ever write the movie Stripes again, what you need to do, and I'm hopeful what we will get the chance to do is actually hear Ty's entire story, because when you get to know Ty's story, all of this makes sense. The reason that we're here right now, the reason that we're trying to do the things that we want to do for other veterans, is all indicated in his storyline.
Well, I hope that, Ty, that you will allow us to hear your story at some point. Not today, but at some point down the road. But I'm still confused. Why do they need your parents' names?
I think it's just a starting form.
Yeah.
It's when you do that initial intake. Think about it like an 18-year-old kid when they go. That's one of those first questions. Your parents' name. It's just.
I know they usually ask for like your mother's maiden name or something, but okay.
So
Well, I'll tell you what. At the point in time when Ty and I were in the same unit, you're absolutely right. Popcorn was not enough. It was almost like you need a trip setter and some ayahuasca to watch this thing go down.
Were you at the AIT? The one that I went to,
Elaborate.
I went to one AIT, and you know how they have the barbecue and all that at the end.
Yeah. Yes, I was there.
You know, everyone else wearing the fedora and the booty shorts.
Yes, I was there. Yeah. I have pictures of you in those booty shorts somewhere. Remember those little Fun Saver cameras?
Yeah.
I found one about 8 years ago and had it developed at Walmart. And it was
Always
there was a few of
dangerous.
them, and they were Army Fun Saver cameras. Pretty interesting content on those things.
Right.
Okay, so deployment came and went, and after that, Ty, did you stay in or did you get out?
No, I had found out I had a hyperactive thyroid. Right, so I wasn't sleeping. I was eating a lot. You know, sometimes I just sit and my heart would feel like I just went on a run. So I was hospitalized for that, and they took it out, and then I just gained a ton of weight. I mean, I went up to like almost 400 pounds.
Wow.
You know, I had to use a shopping cart as a crutch when I went shopping. You know, taking breaks from my car to the door. It was pretty rough. It was bad. And then, you know, I was out on a med board.
How did that pass? I mean, because you're not 400 pounds now.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just started they said that all that you took in before is how much you should weigh because you ate, that's all what you were eating. You know. But then over time, it just went back to eating normal and just losing some weight.
Good. Well, good. I'm glad.
I mean, I'm still fat as hell, but
Well, me too. But, you know, I mean, we have things on our desks here like Chewy Sprees that are gross, and we have Mike and Ike's that are amazing. So we have all kinds of healthy snacks here at the 3 Clicks Media Studios. But so then when you got out, then what? You just found a job and
man, it was hard to find a job. I looked for a long time, right? And at the time, nobody would say it, but you already knew it, you know, because when I was looking for jobs when I got back, I was looking for anything, dishwasher,
Yep. I remember.
working at the gas station, anything, you know, anything. You know what? I don't care what you pay me, just let me earn it, right?
Yeah.
But when you write on the application that you need time off because you're in the guard and all that stuff, you know, you're a great candidate. We appreciate your service, but we just can't hire you.
Yeah.
You can't be here every weekend. I can't hire you.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about that before, Jason, how reservists and National Guard members have a difficult time with civilian employment because that commitment is just not 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, or 2 weeks a summer anymore. The operational tempo is a lot higher. And these employers know that they can't stop you from going to drill. They have to let you go by federal law. So then what did you do? You
know, couldn't find a job, give myself a job. You know, with Jason's help, I got a contractor's license. Started remodeling houses.
Good for you, man. I like it.
I could do the work, but man, I was bad at running a business, to tell you that. So you fired me twice.
Say. Well, welcome to the party.
He fired me twice. Notice how he gets that in every time.
Well, it's important. It's an important part of the story.
Yeah.
Oh,
because here's the thing. He fired you twice, but here you sit.
Yeah.
So it's not because he lost faith in you. Just didn't work.
No.
No, but that's that.
Jason's fired me before.
That's the no hard feelings, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. But that's where, you know, veterans, like especially those of us in our groups, you know, we get it. You know, we were just talking about earlier in the week about being a leader. Being a leader isn't always doing what it's not the easiest thing to do, right? It's about doing what's best for everybody. You know, and those times where we did have to terminate, it wasn't just for me. You know, a lot of times, I mean, we could have continued, but it just would push him further into a hole, you know? And I think that's one thing that people don't understand about us is, as veterans, we understand each other pretty well. even those that we don't know personally, to a point where we know where you need to be and how you need to stage and deal with people, because we can read the tea leaves a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I think also it's that ability to have a little bit thicker skin. I mean, I can remember many times in my military career where whoever's training me for whatever activity told me that, I look like a soup sandwich and I'm an ate-up piece of shit. And then at the same time was patting me on the helmet going, but I know you can do it,
Right.
right? Like, you really suck at this, but I know that you can do it.
Yep.
So how about you quit effing around and just get it done? Oh, roger that. And then before you know it, you have some success.
Yeah. Make it easier for all of us.
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
And so it's like it's a team mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ty, now you find yourself after all this stuff, which we we skirted through your story pretty quickly. And folks, I want to tell you something. There's a lot of details here. There's a lot of details that we skated over, but we are going to come back because the world needs to know Ty Buie's story, and we will come back to it. But now here you sit, Ty, as a part of our little group here at 3 Clicks, the Disgruntled Show. We got regular guy, Swag, which will be coming. The site's coming, guys, so stick with us. We'll have all the swag available for you. Why? That's what I want to ask you. Why is this important to you? Why is 3 Clicks Media, the regular guy, Disgruntled, why is all this important to you? Why are you taking part in what we got going on here?
I think, because I'm a veteran, we're veterans, right? We deal with veterans issues, right? And all this gets the word out there to help to address veterans issues. So that's my thing, because a lot of veterans go unheard, unseen.
Yeah.
They say, active duty and in after service, right? When you're training and it sucks, they say suffer in silence, right? Mm-hmm. But then you get out in the world and you're suffering in silence. But there's no corpsman. There's no other guy next to you to help you out. You're just there alone.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to hear your voice, man.
That's a pretty powerful perspective. I never thought of that. That's absolutely true. You go through all this time in the military, and you always got your buddy to lean on, left or right or behind you. And you get out, and shit hits the fan, and you look around, and you're by yourself. That's pretty profound, Ty. See, now this is the guy that walks around in cowboy boots with women's booty shorts on. And then says some shit like that to completely knock you off your game. And that's why I appreciate you, Ty, and that's why I love you, because as silly as you can be and as we all can be together, you're not shy about showing your heart, and I appreciate that about you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Wait till you meet Clint Fukufuji.
Who?
Clint Fukufuji.
If we ever go singing karaoke,
we're gonna arrange that meeting one night. It's
He sings karaoke?
It's Ty's alter ego.
That's right.
It's his karaoke ego. It's a real thing.
By the way, do you have any extra copies of your old Christmas card?
I don't have copies. I have it saved on my phone, though.
Okay, we're gonna have to show the.
I don't think that should ever be shown again. Because
know.
it's.
Do you think it should be shown?
You know what? I sent it to all my family. I gave one to all the leadership in my unit.
I just don't know if the VA has seen it.
They've all had the same.
If that thing gets out there,
they'll have them committed.
And that's what I'm saying. Then we have to start zooming from the VA hospital, Minneapolis campus.
Yeah. They're sending him right to 1J at the VA hospital.
Every year I think about doing something different, but it's hard to top that one.
And like I say, you guys out there, when that story comes out, and maybe we get the Power Panda in to tell that story with us, I promise you that Christmas card story is 100 times better than the Christmas card that you can't forget. I promise you.
I was laughing so hard it actually hurt.
It was painful for a week afterwards.
Well, you're a creative individual, Ty. That's for sure.
That is a word you can use.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think we've accomplished our goal. We wanted the world to meet Ty real quickly.
Yes.
I think we've done that. Ty, are you going to come back and tell us more of your story at some point?
At some point, I'll do it. Yeah. I can.
Well, you don't
I
sound
mean, I'm not
sure.
going to. Some stories I can't give you full details, but
What, are you sworn to secrecy?
no, man. Some things are just a little too embarrassing, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand that. One thing we like to do here, Ty, is our final thoughts. And since you're the guest, you get to go first. You get about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to give us your final thoughts. Now, I understand that this particular show, there isn't a whole lot of, we didn't do a deep dive on a particular topic other than you. But what would you like the people to know about you that you haven't revealed today?
Oh man, I don't even know. Other people know me better than I know myself. You know.
Wow.
You know, I think, talking about veterans issues, right? You know, it's really the times like when you're alone, not necessarily in darkness, but that's when you're alone in your own thoughts, that's when the darkness in people comes out,
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's really important to know that you're not alone. There's hundreds, thousands of vets out there, and we're all brothers and sisters, man. We walk the same path.
Man.
So even if you don't know the person, right? If you guys are vets, you guys are brothers, you guys are sisters, and you'll help each other out. So,
That instant connection.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, man. Jason, you're up.
Well, again, not going to tell any more Ty stories, of course, but as tempting as it is. But, when Ty's talking about how important that is, that's why we're here. That's literally what we're doing now. Now, I would say, especially Ty and I's friendship goes over the past 2 decades. It feels like a lot longer for both he and I. But there really hasn't been a moment where I haven't had him as my right hand when I needed it. And I hope that I've been his when he's needed it. And that would be that encouragement to anybody out there. Have your buddy 6, period. And that's it.
Very well said. And before I give my final thoughts, I just thought of something. And I'm sure that you guys aren't big video gamers. I'm not as big a video gamer as I used to be. But do yourself a favor later on this evening and look up this video game called God of War. The main character, his name is Kratos. And you look exactly like him with your head shaved and that beard.
Great.
He's the son of Zeus, so I guess that would be cool.
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. Just little tidbits.
Well, you know what they say about all bald people? We all look alike.
They do say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that.
I don't know. Some bald people look like a turtle out of its shell.
Oh, I wouldn't say this is a real hot look. Let's be honest.
It works for Kratos. Okay, so my final thoughts are this, and I can't really follow up what the other two guys said, but this is a group of people who are really looking to change the lives of veterans locally here, because that's where our reach is. But once we grow this thing into something bigger, we want to reach out. We want to get to people that aren't just local, not just our community, because our community is the whole country. And that seems like a huge, big, insurmountable task to provide support or whatever it is to impact the lives of veterans all over this country. And that'd be great to get there. and that's what we're working towards. But just to know that there are people that are in your community that have walked, as Ty said, walked the same path, no matter what the outcome was at the end. We all started in the same place, at some shitty recruiter's office. We all started there at the same place. So it only makes sense that we take care of each other the best we can, because who else is going to? I think it's been pretty clear that the government, they do a little bit of what they say, but only when it tends to work in their favor, not when it always just works in our favor. And so the goal of 3 Clicks Media and the Disgruntled Podcast, the regular guy clothing brand or the swag brand, whatever we want to call it, I guess I don't know how to phrase that, and other projects we have going on, is to raise money and build awareness, to let people know, like Ty said also, that you're not alone. And when you are alone and that darkness creeps in, that you have somewhere to go, you have somewhere to call, you have somewhere to message, and figure out who and where those people are. And so we thought it was only appropriate that you meet the whole crew. And so we'll get Trevor the Beard down here soon so that you can meet him. And we will be back with you on Thursday. So you guys have a great day, and we will see you on down the road. Goodbye.